what do you think of positive affirmations? So I'm kind of skeptical. Like, so
I don't go for them. So I'm with you. Here's
tell
the
me,
thing.
tell me.
I think you need to have some hope for the future. But the classic affirmation came from Emile Coué, the French hypnotist, actually, or somnambulist, whatever they called him over there, sophrologist. Um, he used to say, every day in every way, things are getting better and better. Now, I think that's wrong. I mean, you've lived through the Greek financial crisis. We're living through right now, and we're having a conversation, a worldwide economic and health crisis with a virus, this coronavirus that's been. So if you look around, doesn't look to me like things are getting better and better every day in every way. But some things are getting better, some things are getting worse, some things are staying the same. So instead of positive thinking, I think about it as possibility thinking. Okay, well, Greek crisis happened, financial crisis. What are you going to do? What are the possibilities within this terrible economic crisis you just had in Greece? What are the possibilities when you have to stay at home? I mean, for me, I'm writing a song a day, and I'm thinking this is really cool. I'm doing it by Zoom or by Skype. I'm writing a song with people all over the world. And so, what are the possibilities given the situation you're in? So, I call this possibility therapy. Instead of positive thinking, possibility thinking.
Mm,
It recognizes the bad stuff, the stuff that's not so good. It recognizes the reality. It's not delusional. Oh, everything's great. Everything's going to be great. So I don't usually say everything's going to be great. I say everything could be. You can do this. Not you will. I hear people say, again, classic hypnosis. You will enjoy more and more becoming a non-smoker. I'm like, maybe.
mm,
You could enjoy becoming a non-smoker. That's a possibility. I think predictions, yeah. Sorry to get political, but we have a president that's a little troublesome in our country. And he said when there were 15 cases of the virus in our country, this will go away. It will go away very quickly. And, the rest of us just rolled our eyes like, or not, is the way we thought. And now it turns out his positive thinking didn't change the virus, that's for sure. And so I think that positive thinking can be delusional and harmful in some ways. Possibility thinking is always good. Like, wow, next year, despite the fact that there's a crisis, economic crisis in Greece, I'm going to become an international coach so I don't have to depend on the local economy, and I'm going to have the best year. I intend to have the best year. Now, that may not happen, but that's what I'm going for. That's a possibility. I'm going for that. That's my vision for where I want to be a year from now. The,
right.
you know, that's the possibility thinking to me. So I'd rather think positive possibility thinking rather than positive thinking.
I like that. And that makes sense with what you said earlier. You said like, okay, there is some bad stuff, then there is some good stuff. Like, do you want to focus your attention on the good stuff and the possibility, right? Um, Perfect. I like that. I like that. And tell me something. So just to make sure here that there is this idea that whatever you say to your unconscious, your unconscious is a worker, is like a loyal worker. It will believe whatever you say to it, right? So if I say to it, like, although I feel bad, I'm gonna say to my unconscious, I feel powerful today. I feel powerful today. So is that true? Is like that your unconscious will, whatever you say, if you repeat it? Tell me.
No, I don't think that's true. It's too simple. So I think it's again a little delusional to say you can just willpower yourself into thinking into your unconscious being positive. I'd say obviously you want to invite your unconscious and your conscious mind by where you put your attention, what inputs you let in, you got to be really careful because if you're around people, like I'm a songwriter, I've talked to some people and they go, you're delusional. You'll never become a songwriter who gets his songs on the radio. And I go, well, that's not helpful. to
Mhm.
say I'll never do it. But if I say I'm going to get a number one hit and there's nothing that's going to stop me, well, there might be things that'll stop me. There's a lot of great musicians who intended to have a number one hit, thought positively, used their willpower, worked hard, and they didn't get a number one hit. So I'd say, again, for me, it's always this. So let me tell you a story.
Mhm.
There
Please.
was a there was a guy who was the top ranking officer from the United States who was in the North Vietnamese prison camps where they tortured the it was John McCain was the most famous one of the prisoners of war that some of your listeners may know or viewers may know. And his name was Stockdale, and later he became an admiral in the U.S. Navy. And he used to go out and give motivational speeches. And he would give talks. And one time, an author called Jim Collins heard him give a talk, and he said, when I was in the prisoner of war camp in North Vietnam, and it was really bad, the people who did the worst were the optimists.
Mm.
And so Jim Collins is listening, thinking, optimist. You, Admiral Stockdale, you seem like an optimist. So he got a chance to talk to him later, and he said, yeah, he said, there's two kinds of optimism. He said, we would have guys in this prisoner of war camp who would say, they would say to themselves and to their fellow prisoners, we're in here, it's terrible, but we're going to be out by Easter. And then Easter would come and Easter would go and they wouldn't be out. Don't worry, we're going to be out by Christmas. And Christmas would come and Christmas would go. And then the next year Easter would come and those guys would give up and they would die. And he said the optimists were the ones who had the toughest time in the camp. And so Jim Collins said, it's strange because you seem very optimistic to me. He said, let me make this distinction. You can never give up faith that you're going to make it in the end. That
Mm.
ultimately you're going to be released from the prison camp. You're not going to die there. Because if you give that up, you'll just give up. He said, but you can't be delusional in it's going to happen by this time in this way. I'm going to have a number one song on the radio by June 1st, 2020. That's a setup for disappointment and failure. If you say, someday I intend to have a number one song on the radio, that's a pretty good goal. It motivates you on the way. So again, to me, that's possibility thinking rather than positive thinking, because positive thinking can sometimes be delusional. So, I think of one of the most famous positive thinkers in the world, Tony Robbins. And I
Mm.
think, well, why did Tony Robbins get a divorce?
Right.
Why didn't he just put himself in states so he loved that woman? Sorry, life is a little more complex. Then you can't always make yourself feel what you think you should feel or what you just intend to feel. Even Tony Robbins, who's pretty good at changing states, he's on his second marriage. Why couldn't he make the first one work? All he had to do was put his intentions on it, think positively, and put himself in the state of deep love with the woman he fell in love with years before. And so for me, you got to be careful of just trying to manipulate yourself so much or the world so much. You delude or you run over other people, you run over your own soul or your own heart. Because sometimes, no matter what you intend, the world is more complex, your soul and your heart are more complex, and no matter how positively you think, it doesn't go that way.
Wow. Good. I like it. I like what you said. Like I see the word that this word hits me now, like acceptance, right? Accepting the bad stuff, not just looking like, I'm gonna go that way, it's gonna work, everything's. I'm super optimistic. Accepting the bad stuff and just looking at the possibilities. It's more
To
natural,
me,
right?
yeah, life stands on two legs, and change stands on two legs. One is acknowledgement of what is and what's been, acknowledgement, acceptance, as you say, and the other one is stepping into change and possibility. If
Mm.
you, and sometimes you're more on this foot of change and possibility, and sometimes you're more on the foot of I gotta accept and acknowledge. That's it. So you just move back and forth between those two legs, and it's like a balancing. Different parts of your life will have more acceptance and acknowledgement. and some different parts of your life will have more change. There's times and seasons of change and possibility, and you've probably gone through those when you just feel, wow, all the new possibilities are coming so fast, and I'm getting new ideas, and I'm creative. And there are other times, yeah, I'm lying fallow like a field that's not being growing anything right now, but that's preparing me for the next change time. So to me, I'm always in therapy and coaching, acknowledge where people are, where they've been, and then invite them into new places. That's life to me.
It's liberating. Like it's, I mean, the way you say it, like it's, I don't know how to explain it. Like it's balance, less friction. Because when you say, I'm gonna do it, there is friction there. It's like you're not accepting something, like you don't want failure, you don't see any possibility of failure. You know, I'm gonna be #1 bestseller, New York Times bestseller, or selling author. And that's more, there's more friction there. You can feel it, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Well, and I think again, one of the things is someone said it a long time ago, and it's certainly true for me. Looking back, I'm thinking, I got on Oprah with one of my books. I've written 40 books. If you had told me before, that I could have done that, I wouldn't have thought so. So it was both easier than I thought and way harder than I thought. But once I got myself in line with that possibility, sometimes magical things do happen. And, the Red Sea parts, and you find your way when you didn't know how you would find your way. So I think sometimes magical things happen, but also sometimes, the old saying, man makes plans and God laughs, is that the world is more complex, social interactions are more complex, and you can't just always make things happen based on willpower and hard work and intention. I think it's good to have hard work and willpower and intention, but then you have to pay attention to the feedback that the world gives you and use that to navigate your way, and never lose faith that someday you could get a #1 bestseller, or someday you could be on Oprah, or someday your song would be #1, or you'll find the love of your life and have the greatest relationship in the world. Always good to put your attentions and keep that possibility open, and then keep letting the world teach you how to get there.
Love it. I like what you said. You
And you
said,
may never get there. And you may never get there.
yes, yes. You said someday, the same way that guy said, someday we will be back. We will
Yes.
back, we will back home, right? I love it.